Okay, let's begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptakantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today it is chapter 11, the universal form. Before we begin, let's pay our obeisances to Shri Shri Radha Govinda. This is summary of chapter 10. So this is what we did. Krishna's position as the origin of everything, the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, and then Arjuna's acceptance and his request. Vibhuti Yoga. That's what we did. The opulence of the absolute. And then that was yesterday, we did this. And Krishna described 82 of his infinite opulences. So, synopsis of chapter 11 today. Let's go over this. Last verse of chapter 10. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. 10.42. Arjuna wishes to see that all-pervasive form of the Lord. Although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot, he pervades and supports the entire universe. Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form. Arjuna requests Krishna to reveal his universal form. So we can understand by this, in the last verse he said that he pervades and supports the entire universe. And Krishna's opulences are unlimited. Now Arjuna desires to see that all-pervasive universal form, and he wants to see that. There is a reason why he wants to see that. We'll discuss that. And after seeing that, he'll describe the universal form. And then after he also reveals what he feels and whether he, it's like, it's not we say, oh, wow, Vishwaroop, Darshan, universal form. But, Arjuna is such a brave person, very strong, such a great warrior. But actually his hair stood up when he saw the universal form. He was actually terrified. So he says that. Then he asks, who are you, Krishna? I want to know who you are. And Krishna says, time I am the time. Then after seeing that, his relationship with Krishna changes, they're friends. Then suddenly it is of wonder, Adbhuta Rasa. So let's go ahead and learn. Chapter 11, summary. Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of his universal form. Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Time I am, become my instrument. Arjuna's prayers. Only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed supreme form. Okay. Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of his universal form. Arjuna requests Krishna to show him that all-pervading form which he spoke of in chapter 10. Krishna first described his universal form before showing it to Arjuna. He then bestows upon Arjuna the divine eyes necessary to see it. Okay, first verse in this chapter. Arjuna uvacha maddanugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sannitam yatvayuktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Arjuna said, I have heard your instruction on confidential spiritual matters which you have so kindly delivered unto me, and my illusion is now dispelled. Arjuna is thanking Krishna that he has already heard the matters regarding devotional service, and he's saying his illusion is gone. What was his illusion? Do you know? Can you unmute and answer that? Yes, you should be able to unmute yourself. What was his illusion? He's saying my illusion is gone.
He could not fight, Mataji.
Yeah, he gave some reasons in the first chapter, right? Anyone else wants to say something about this? Everyone is so quiet. He gives so many reasons why he did not want to fight. Now,
Mataji, yes, Hare Krishna. He had given reasons for not fighting, that it is like his family lineage will get affected. He cannot fight with his own kin, and he doesn't want, even if he wins, it will be like, and actually killing his own family member is a big sin, and he doesn't want to be a sinner. So here Krishna has has informed him that whatever he's doing is all predetermined, and he's only the instrument of the wishes of Krishna. So that has cleared the doubts which he had before laying the shastra and not fighting.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Also, from the previous chapters, Arjuna knows that Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the cause of the Mahavishnu also. I'll mute you all again. Krishna is the cause of the Mahavishnu also, from whom the material universes are emanating, right? All the material universes are emanating from Mahavishnu, and Krishna is the source of Mahavishnu also. He is the source of all the incarnations. So Arjuna has heard all this now. So he no longer thinks Krishna as a mere human being. He knows, oh, he's the source of everything. He's the supreme Lord. He already prayed also, right? So now he is enlightened, and he's also happy that such a great friend he has. It's like Krishna. Wow, Krishna, you are so great. He's very happy to hear more and more about Krishna. He's saying, I know everything about your divinity now. And he wants to establish Krishna's divinity for everyone. That's why he wants to ask him to request him to show his universal form. Because he has no more doubts. It's not for himself. Let me see. Can you show me how you are supporting this entire universe? Can you just, reveal this form to me? He's actually requesting not for himself, but for the future also. Like in case in future someone says God and I have some powers and all this, then they should be ready to reveal their universal form. There are many people who say I'm God and this is God, and many people believe in others who claim to be God. So when you read all this, that all the doubts should go away, and we should be very clear who is God. Okay. By hearing everything that Krishna has said, Arjuna's illusion is removed. Effect of hearing most confidential knowledge. All illusion is dispelled. Krishna's supremacy over all is revealed. Chapter 11 reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is the cause of the material nature, living entities, all demigods, all incarnations. How illusion is dispelled? Arjuna recognizes that by power of Krishna's grace, by which the illusion is dispelled. What illusion is dispelled? That Krishna is an ordinary friend or a human being. So now Arjuna understands this is not a human being that is standing in front of me. He's the Supreme Lord. Then why did Arjuna request Krishna to show his universal form? Because he was already convinced. Then why did he ask? That is for everyone else. Okay. Oh, Lotus Eyed One, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity as realized through your inexhaustible glories. O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see here before me your actual position, I yet wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So he's actually asking, requesting, and he's calling him Lotus Eyed One. Out of joy, he addresses Krishna as a Lotus Eyed One, because Krishna's eyes appear just like the petals of a lotus flower. And he's already told in the previous chapter about his all pervasiveness and how he is not personally present everywhere, but he is the source of all the appearances and disappearances. But he is aloof also, he is in his own abode. At the same time, the entire material universe is functioning because of him. He enters the cosmic manifestation and everything is possible because of him. It's all going on because he entered into the material universe by his personal representation. He gave all this information. So that is his inconceivable opulence. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Arjuna is inspired by all this and is completely satisfied. Request. And this is, again, as we discussed, it is to set a criteria for the future so that no imposter will come and say, I am God. Then we know that that person is not God if he cannot show the universal form. If he cannot do what Krishna has done, then we cannot, accept him as God. So we should be careful. If someone comes and says, I am the avatar or incarnation, if they are not mentioned in the scriptures, we should not accept them as God. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self. See, we cannot see, hear, understand, or perceive the Supreme Lord by our material senses. Arjuna knows this very well. Only by loving devotional service we can actually see. Prabhupada writes, we have read this in Brahma Samhita also, right? Only the ointment of love on our eyes, that's what will reveal the Lord's potencies and the Lord to us. So only through loving devotional service, transcendental service, we can see Krishna. Because I'm a spiritual spark. Spark cannot understand much. So I cannot see or understand the Supreme Lord, who is actually the complete whole. So Arjuna understands this. He knows his limitations and he knows only if he reveals himself, only if the unlimited, infinite reveals himself, that only then I can understand what is everything, how this whole creation is happening. So because of that, he calls him Yogeshwar also in this verse. Because Yogeshwara means somebody who has inconceivable power. So he's actually requesting in a very humble way. That's how a devotee approaches the Supreme Master, spiritual master also, Krishna also. It's very humble, He's saying, if I am capable, if you think I can behold, if I am qualified, we cannot challenge God. Say, okay, let God come in front of me, then I'll accept that God exists. That's not how it works. We cannot force, we cannot challenge. So he's actually requesting in a very proper way. So devotees are actually not interested in power display, or they don't want to see all these different opulences, nothing. Krishna knows that. Krishna knows Arjuna's heart. He lives in his heart also, right? He resides right within his body also. So, but still, he shows him. Why does Krishna please his devotee like this? Because he's non-envious. Again, his heart is pure and he wants to encourage him to fight. That's why Krishna is like, okay, your request, here I am going to show you my universal form. And he is also trying to get him to the point where he is ready to get up and fight. That's why he is also pleasing him. Okay. So, and in this universal form, he's going to show Arjuna that no one is going home except the Pandavas. So all this will happen. Text 3, Arjuna expresses his desire to see the form which supports and pervades the entire universe. Why Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form? To establish Krishna's divinity for all. To convince others, although he doesn't have any personal desire and is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. It is to convince others. to avoid imposters. He wants to set a criteria for in the future, there will be so many imposters who will pose as incarnations. Arjuna wants to substantiate Krishna's statement that Krishna not only theoretically or philosophically, but actually shows his form. Okay, Arjuna pleads and does not order to see Krishna's form. Qualifications to see Lord's form. Only by revelation, by the mercy of the Lord. Not possible by mental speculation or perception by material senses. Lord is addressed as Yogeshwara. The blessed Lord said, "My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, behold now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine forms, multicolored like the sea. O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. Whatever you wish to see can be seen all at once in this body. This universal form can show you all that you desire, as well as whatever you may desire in the future. Everything is here completely." See, the translation itself is so complete, isn't it? We don't need any explanation. Krishna is giving such clear instructions. He's saying, look, all this is there in the universal form. Just look at what all you want to see. Future, past, present, everything is there. All the Rudras, Ashwini Kumars, everything, my opulences, hundreds and thousands of varied divine forms, multicolored. So universal form is a transcendental form, but it is a temporary form. It is just manifested for the cosmic manifestation. It's like how material nature is manifested and not manifested. It's like that. It is not an eternal form that you will find in the spiritual sky. It does not exist forever. Krishna's other forms are eternal, like Narsimhadev is eternal, Rama is eternal. So there are many incarnations, forms of Krishna that are eternal, but not universal form. It is a temporary form. And only Krishna must provide the power to us to see it. We cannot just see it by our own, by our own strength. So Arjuna was a very good friend. He was the best friend and a very learned person. But still, it was not possible for him to see by himself, based on his own strength. So Krishna gave him the vision, divine vision to Arjuna to see it. And universal form is multidimensional, we say, past, present, future. And multidimensional in the sense, we know 3D, 4D and all that, right? Here, actually, Arjuna could smell the fragrance, could feel the heat. It was like that. It was not just an image. He could see everything happening, like fire at once and something, fire coming out of here and there, like so much, a lot of fragrance and so many colors. It was like that. He could feel it, he could see it, he could smell it. It was like that. So, but you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give to you divine eyes by which you can behold my mystic opulence. Natumam shakyase drashtum aninaiva svachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshu pashyami yogamaishwaram. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. So, a pure devotee does not like to see all this. They are very, very happy just to see Krishna as he is in his two-handed form. And Krishna is not saying you can see this, you have to just change your mind, you have to read some scriptures. No, he's not saying that. He's saying, I'll give you the vision, you can see it. So that's how it is, by his mercy. And in the next few verses, we'll also understand this form is not very important. People pay so much attention and importance to this, right? But actually, Krishna, as he is in his Shama Sundara form, that is what devotees are attracted to, not to the display of opulences. I heard a very nice example. It's like, say, the father is a policeman, and in his when he is on the job, he's actually, doing so many activities. He could be rough and he could be violent also. So many things happen in his day, right? But when he is at home, his children just want him to have some loving exchanges. That's all. They want father to give attention, play with them, feed them, spend nice quality time. That's all. They're more interested in this pure love. They are immersed in pure love, the devotees. They don't want to see all this opulence. The child need not know what father did in the office. So it's like that. So pure devotees are just happy just to spend time with Krishna, just have a lovely time, like how these Gopas and Gopis used to play with Krishna. And Bhagavatam also says, all these boys who are playing with Krishna, all these Gopis, they're all actually very, very pious. They must have performed many, many pious activities in their previous births for them to get this chance of playing with the Lord. Krishna carried them on their shoulder. They had such lovely time in Vrindavan, right? So they are more interested in that kind of relationship, not in this universal form. Even Yashoda, she was like that. She was very happy playing with her baby. Even if she was not interested whether it was God or he could do this, that, his power display, nothing. He was just a baby, and she was very happy with just that in relationship. So whatever Arjuna is asking and however Krishna is responding, based on this, we should understand Bhagavad Gita. We should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna. Okay. The universal form, text 5 to 8. Lord Krishna responds by offering to show Arjuna his opulences. Krishna shows variegated forms, vision of wonderful forms. No one has ever seen or heard of this before. Vision of the entire universe. Vision of past, present, and future. He needed divine vision by Krishna's grace. Lower level vision according to Acharyas. Okay, Krishna's description of his universal form. So nicely depicted, right? So clear. Okay, summary of section B. Sanjaya's description of the universal form. Sanjaya describes how Krishna bestows upon Arjuna the necessary vision. Arjuna then beholds Krishna's universal form. Krishna's universal form of opulences, then Krishna's Kala Rupa form of time. Sanjaya Uvacha evam uktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro harihi darshiyamasa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. Sanjaya said, okay, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. See, Arjuna is actually looking at the universal form, and Sanjaya is also able to see it because of his divine vision granted to him by Vyasmuni. And he's explaining all that to Dhritarashtra. But look at Dhritarashtra's face. How is it? Do you think he's happy to hear all this? I'll mute you all. How does he look?
Angry. Not happy.
Envious.
How does he look? Anyone else? Like, yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Scared.
Yeah, he's scared, right? He looks scared, shocked. Yeah, he was like, he's more worried about the outcome of the battle, nothing else. He heard the entire Bhagavad Gita, but he did not understand anything at all. So he was just focused on what's going to happen. Is my son okay, or my children okay? What is happening between them? And so he was more worried. Oh my God, hope my children get the kingdom. They don't. He doesn't want to share the kingdom. So his heart is full of envy, and he's thinking only those things. That's why Sanjaya is actually listen. Sanjay is hearing the Lord and seeing all this, and he goes into ecstasy, but not Dhritarashtra. That's how it is. Then Krishna has shown his universal form before also, in mini version. Once the Duryodhana wanted to arrest him, right? They went for Sandhi. They wanted some negotiation to happen, but Duryodhana did not agree. He said, I'm not sharing the kingdom, not even, the tip of a needle, that size of land I'm giving the Pandavas. So, no, it's not going to happen. So at that time, he wanted to arrest Krishna, but Krishna, he could not arrest. Hare Krishna, yes, I'm back. Sorry about that. There's some problem. I'll share my screen again. Are you all able to see my screen now?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope it doesn't happen again. Okay. So Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine dazzling ornaments and arrayed in many garbs. It was garlanded gloriously, and there were many scents smeared over his body. All was magnificent, all expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. So in actually all these verses, there is, you can see the word many, so many times, many, many, many. That means there was no limit to the number of hands, mouths, legs, and other manifestations Arjuna was seeing. So it was distributed all through the universe. And only by the grace of Krishna, Arjuna could see just sitting on his chariot. Arjuna and Krishna are actually on the chariot and they are seeing everything like this. See, you see them in the image also, they're just sitting in one place and they can see the entire, creation. So what Arjuna saw was actually indescribable. Nobody could describe that. But Sanjay is trying to give a mental picture of what he is seeing. He's trying to give the thrust of this is what I'm seeing, that is what I'm seeing. So whatever happened there, he's actually telling the thrust. But actually it is very difficult to describe. It says it was like unimaginable. That's how it was. It was like thousands of suns rising at once. That's how bright and effulgent the universal form was. Then because there are heavenly bodies, there are demigods, then what all did he see? He can see so many people getting crushed in Krishna's mouth, so many people entering and coming out and all that. So then It was also beautiful, but it was terrifying it was terrible. Arjuna did not like it. It was not very pleasing for him. If hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. So at that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So nobody can actually sit and watch universal form like this. It was just Arjuna's, Arjuna's, because of Krishna's mercy, Arjuna got to see all this. And he also saw thousands of planets. Some were made of gold, and some planets, like ours, made of earth. Some planets were made of jewels. So many different kinds of planets he saw. And he also saw Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, that is Brahma Loka. And at the bottom, he saw Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, through the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu comes the stem. Through in that we see all the 14 planetary systems, right? So all that he could see, everything was there in the body of Krishna. So, and he's also going through so many feelings. So Arjuna is a very pure devotee. So we think, oh, in spirituality, there is no feeling at all. People become like, no emotions, no desire, nothing like that. Arjuna is actually going through so many emotions. He's also very vocal about whatever he's thinking. He asks questions, he's learning, and he's clearing all the doubts. So he has feelings also, he has emotions also, and he's also very clear in communication. So we can understand spirituality doesn't mean there is nothing, no emotion, nothing. It's not like that. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord. After the divine vision is revealed, his relationship again changed. He's offering obeisances with folded hands. He's praying. In the previous chapter also, he said, "You are the Supreme Parabrahma," right? All that. Again, he's praying here out of respect. He's offering obeisances. And then he's praised the universal form. He's praising at the same time, he wants him to be back in his two-handed form. He's actually very sober, very calm and quiet kind of person. But now he's become ecstatic. His hair stood up, and then he's very overwhelmed with wonder, awe and reverence, and everything is going on within him. So actually, this is Adbhuta Rasa. That's what he's going through. Rasas, mellows. So do you know the five, anyway it's here, but if you can know, you can list them, the 5 primary rasas. Can anyone tell me the 5 primary rasas?
Sakya, Dasya.
Dasya, Sakya.
Vatsalya, Madhuri.
Yes, actually it is in the slide only. It is here. You can actually see here it is. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila, saying that. It's right in the slide. Can you read that?
Vatsalya, Madhurya.
Yeah. 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. So these are the different mellows a devotee can enjoy with the Lord. Okay, I'll mute you all again. Okay, Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, Nama Krishna Bhakti Rasa, Madhye E Pancha Pradhana. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. The chief transcendental mellows experienced with the Supreme Personality of Godhead are 5. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. Okay, and Hasya, Adbhuta, Veera, Karuna, Raudra, Bibhatsa, Bhaya, Panchavidha Bhakti Gauna Saptarasa Haya. So Shantarasa, which is neutral. Like say his flute or the feather, peacock feather. There are so many, the trees, they're all serving Krishna in Shantaras. Dasyaras, servitor. Sakhyaras, friendship. Vatsalyaras, his mom, like parental love. Madhuryaras, conjugal love. And in addition to this, we have these. Laughter. These are 5 primary rasas. Here we have Hasyaras, Adbhutaras. This was what Arjuna was going through, right? In the previous slide we just saw. Veera, chivalry. Karuna, pathetic feeling. Anger, Raudra, disaster. Bibhatsa, fearfulness. Bhaya. Bhaya, you can think about Kamsa. Kamsa was always in fear. Then what else can we, anything else to learn from this slide? So this devotees see Krishna as a reservoir of all relationships, ocean. Krishna is the ocean of relationships. So they want to enjoy all these different kinds of rasas with him. It's based on their own nature and desire, they can enjoy that kind of relationship. So Arjuna speaks his realizations of the universal form. Arjuna said, "My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower as well as Lord Shiva and many sages and divine serpents. O Lord of the universe, I see in your universal body many, many forms, bellies, mouths, eyes, expanded without limit. There is no end, there is no beginning, and there is no middle to all this." He's explaining whatever he's seeing. Your form adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun. Universal form is huge, it's gigantic form. He's seeing everything in this form, everything within this universe, like we discussed just now, Garbho, Dakshay, Vishnu, and then he says the snake bed. Snake bed is called Vasuki, and there are other snakes also called Vasuki. And then there is this serpent upon which, Garbho, Dakshay, Vishnu is lying down. So that bed is called Vasuki actually. And then what else is he seeing here? So many things, right? And Krishna is unlimited. And Arjuna could try to see whatever he could. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the best in all the universes. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of religion, the eternal personality of Godhead. He was bewildered and astonished, but he's offering all these prayers also. He's actually sharing, very in a very nice way. He'll tell in all the different verses that this is not so pleasing, this is terrible, with so many mouths, arms, and all this. So can you please come back to your original pleasing form? So, and this universal form, there is no personal exchange with this form. You just look at it and have this wonder. Wow, look at this form. That wonder is there in you. That's all. There is no personal exchange. Like how Krishna is talking to Arjuna, nothing like that. There is no exchange. And actually, devotees can dress and feed the Archa Vigraha, decorate and do arti and whatnot in the pleasing two-handed form. But this is very gigantic form. Prabhupada writes about it. So if you want to make a dress for Krishna, you can actually worship him through this Archa Vigraha, right? You have a chance to offer something to Krishna, make a garland and put a helmet. But in this form, it's very difficult. How do you even worship this? So devotees actually relish the two-handed form. They don't find this form very relishable. You are the origin without beginning, middle, or end. You have numberless arms, and the sun and the moon are among your great unlimited eyes. By your own radiance, you are heating this entire universe. Arjuna's description of Kala Rupa, the form as a time. See his mouth. See here. Looks so scary, isn't it? All the fire coming out of the mouth and so many things here. So many heads. Although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O great one, as I behold this terrible form, he's saying this is terrible form, I see that all the planetary systems are perplexed. Even the demigods in the higher planetary systems, they also could see this form and they are also perplexed. They start offering prayers. All the demigods are surrendering and entering into you. They are very much afraid, and with folded hands, they are singing the Vedic hymns. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishvedevas, the two Ashwins, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. All of them are looking at this form in wonder. So that means all the higher, living beings like demigods, they also could see this form. On the battlefield, nobody could see except Arjuna. Sanjaya could see because he had this divine vision, so he could explain that to Dhritarashtra. And these demigods, they have divine vision, so they also saw. So only these many people saw. Rest of them did not. See the teeth here. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your many faces, eyes, arms, bellies, and legs, and your terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so am I. He's saying I'm disturbed. They are also disturbed. I'm also disturbed. I'm astonished, bewildered, disturbed. He was a great warrior. So, he's not a kind of a person who will get disturbed very easily. He's a violent person because he is used to fighting and seeing blood and whatnot. But he is saying, I'm disturbed to see this. So you can understand this is not such a pleasing form. O all-pervading Vishnu, I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. Seeing your radiant colors fill the skies and beholding your eyes and mouths, I am afraid. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona and Karna, and all our soldiers are rushing into your mouths, their heads smashed by your fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed between your teeth as well. How violent it must have been. You seeing all this. As the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors enter your blazing mouths and perish. So in the previous verse, actually the Lord promised Arjuna, right? He said, you can see whatever you want to see. You can see all the things that you are interested to see. Arjuna did not want to fight, right? He didn't know. He was not interested also. Now, he can see all the leaders of the opposite party, like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all the sons of Dhritarashtra, all the soldiers, all of them, even soldiers from his side, Arjuna's side, Pandava's side, all of them are being annihilated. So this is an indication that they are going to die. No one is going home except Pandavas and few people. That's all. Everyone is going to die. So Krishna is actually showing him this, saying that you will be victorious. So he can see the future. And he can be quite rest assured that this is what is going to happen. There's no need to worry about anything. Even Bhishma was smashed. So Karna also, all the great warriors. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. He's saying, I know you as the Supreme Lord. I know you are, the cause of all causes, but I want to know what is your mission. After seeing all this, he wants to know more about him and what is your mission and who you are exactly. Tell me, please explain. Arjuna, in great fear, asks 2 questions. Arjuna asks questions. Who are you? What is your mission? These are the 2 questions Arjuna asked. Why Arjuna asked these questions? Arjuna knew Krishna as his friend and supreme personality of Godhead, but he was puzzled by various forms exhibited by Krishna. That's why he wanted to know. Okay. So actually, we finished 30 slides. We have around 20, 23 slides to go. We can do that next class. Okay. So this is like more than half of the chapter. And there is more to understand and learn. We'll do that next week. We can take some questions. I will stop.